I'm gonna keep this intro short. I see a lot of beginner players around me making these same exact mistakes, so I made this video to cover most of them and show you guys what you should do instead. Now like and subscribe for amazing chest luck, and let's get into this. The first mistake that I see is a lot of people when they start a game, they go to one of these trees like this. While that's fine, you also want to go ahead and look for any pairs of double trees, and if you position yourself just right, you should be able to hit 2 trees at the same time just like this. After a while, you'll chop them both down, and that will exactly be enough for actually level 2 of the campfire, so you don't even need the starting piece of coal, just like so. Of course, you can still chop trees down one by one if you'd like to. A big mistake that I see players see is when they go ahead and they see this chest with 4 chairs, they grab each chair individually and then go ahead and open the chest. That's actually a little bit time consuming, and what you want to do is just start opening up the chest, then hover over the chest and pick up the chairs while you're going ahead and actually opening up the chest. That way you can do both at the same time, and also with these chairs, of course you don't want to burn them, you want to use them as wood. When you're saving the kids, you actually don't need to go ahead and use a ranged weapon for most of these kids. For the first 2 kids, all you really need is any kind of melee weapon. This way it'll preserve you a lot of bullets, and you won't even take much damage. All you have to do is just run around in a circle like this. Just remember to keep your proper distance, and then you can hit them without them ever hitting you. It might take a little bit longer, but you will appreciate all of the ammo that you get to save. And when you're at like your last wolf, then you don't really have to jump. You can just really like focus on them, and that way you can get the kid without using any ammo. The sundial will let you know exactly when it's going to be nighttime, and the compass will also point you in the direction of the nearest kid. Once you head over to this board over here, you go ahead and click on the kid, and there we go. Now it is at the compass if you look at the right side of the screen. Also, here's the 3 trees in a row from before. As you can see, I'm chopping them all down at the same time, which normally should not be possible if you do regular positioning. When you're heading out and gathering loot, you should never go ahead and get these scraps. These are only worth 1 scrap and they're super bad. Also, why does the carnival open up as soon as I start speaking, bro? This is actually rage bait. If you need any scrap, even early on, this is 3 times better than the bolts. So it is much better. And also, there's these things that are worth 3 scrap, which you should always get if you really need scrap to build things at your base. But most of the time, you don't even need these. Don't be afraid to eat raw meat if your hunger is dropping a bit low and you're full on HP. It is always better to sacrifice a little bit of HP for some hunger, because your HP can regen periodically, but your hunger will not regen. Let's go ahead and use our katana only on these wolves to show you guys the melee weapon only method. I may be taking a little bit of damage here because I am also mispositioning, and also you should use these traps to your advantage. You might see this little thing on the floor, it's different colored, and I can actually get the wolves to hop in it, and as you can see, that does damage to these wolves. I can honestly just do a lot more damage to these wolves by having them hop in the trap, so I'll just hop around here. There we go. We hop over that trap again, and now look, they fall in and they're going to take more damage. I might honestly just be able to kill them with this trap alone, as long as I don't fall in the trap myself, because if I do, then I am very cooked. But if I don't fall into the trap myself, then I'm good. And look, one of the wolves actually just died by falling into the trap. We can just repeat this trap over and over. Remember to use everything in your environment to your advantage, and not only these traps, you can also go ahead and use like an ammo shack here. You know, you can always hide behind it, and then these wolves will be stuck for a little while, so you can like heal up, regenerate your thoughts, and then you can head out there with any kind of weapon. I'll just finish it off with a katana, and there we go. We just defeated them by barely taking any damage. At night, if you are very far away from your base and you don't think you can get back at time, you want to go ahead and look for a couple of things. Alright, there's some trees that can actually climb, which will help you escape from the deer. Now I don't know if I can find one this night. Oh yeah, this kind of a tree. Now I need to climb up here super fast before the deer spawns or anything. Okay, there we go. I should be fine up here. I climbed up just in time, and now you might not be able to see me, but I'm actually in this tree here. I'm just chilling on this tiny tile that's sticking up slightly, and I think if you're on here, the deer will not spawn on you. And as you can see, just like that, I've completely survived the night untouched. After you've chopped down trees and you want to plant these saplings, you should not go ahead and just plant them all at the same tile. That is very bad, as you cannot hit them all at the same time. What you want to do is you want to make a sort of U shape with your saplings. Just like so, have them very close, and eventually make like a full circle around yourself. That way you can chop them all down at the same time. Also, please get farms, because farms are OP. They literally cost only 10 wood for one, and as you can see, I have 2 farms here, and they've generated an entire pumpkin for me, bro. This is so OP. Even without a crockpot, these carrots will instantly bring my hunger to full. Right now it's about 40%, and I'm just gonna go ahead and eat up all these carrots like this. And by the way, you want to have your camera down here so that you can eat carrots much faster. And there we go, full on hunger just like that, just for free. when you're taking on any cultist members, you really want to learn their attack patterns. For example, those range guys, if they see you in range, then they won't move and they'll just start shooting at you. And the melee guys will always start running at you. But you can abuse this. So let's go here and have these range guys shoot at me. And by the way, if you're like sprint jumping, these guys will never hit you, okay? Do you see how bad their aim is? They will never hit you. So I can only just go in here, tickle them once and head out. But if I'm going too close to them, then they might hit me. And this guy's weapon is still stuck inside of that pond there, so that is pretty good. And also, here's another bonus pro tip: never be afraid to use your bandages. So right now my HP is around a 25%, and I don't want to actually save my bandages because if I die in a solo run, it's just game over. And if I'm with multiple people, it might be okay to save some bandages, but it's still better to just use them. So I'm just going to go ahead and use one right now. And there we go. We're back to full HP. And we can use any kind of ranged weapon that we have to take care of those range guys safely if I like. I can even use a revolver as well because that's literally free. And there we go. Now these melee guys are quite simple. What I want to do is kite them in a way where I can hit them and they can't hit me. You know, I really want to keep my range around them. As long as I keep on circling, I should be able to kill them all without them doing any damage to me. There we go. They did absolutely 0 damage. And now I gotta head back to my base because I'm being attacked. Alrighty, I'm now back at my base, and there's a couple of things to point out once I'm here. I'm just gonna go ahead and eat up a pumpkin real quick. But against the cultists, normally you shouldn't be scared at all. The first cultist wave, it's just gonna send out a couple of melee guys. But after the first wave, the second and fourth wave, well, second, third, fourth, so on and so forth, then you might need some things like bear traps to help you fight against them. And also cultists, there's a couple spots that they'll always spawn, alright? They'll always spawn, not where the deer is, but they'll spawn in like the four corner of the base. For example, like this corner of the base they'll spawn, and by the campfire, right? If I look in this direction as well, this corner of the base they'll also spawn. They'll basically spawn at the four sides of the base. If you go ahead and look at the map, the board from the middle here, you'll be able to see the 4 different spots. It's just north, east, south, and west. And these cultist guys, they're honestly super easy to defeat as long as you keep your range. There we go. Look, I just killed them all and I took absolutely 0 damage from them because as long as you keep your range, as I've said, if you know their patterns, then you can go ahead and defeat them without worrying. Here's a massive mistake that I see, alright? Some people might see these bears, and especially at the Koala Kids base, they'll see that there's like 6 or 7 bears outside, and they'll be tempted to use all their ranged weapons because if you get close range, you'll actually just die to these bears. While that's fine, I do recommend for the Koala Kid especially, but you could do it on this kid because there are 2 bears out here. You want to get yourself 4 bear traps. That is all that you really need. Alright, I'm just going to go ahead and use these bear traps, and you want to put them into a square shape, just like so. Just follow exactly what I'm doing here. I'm just going to grab all of them, make sure to tightly pack them into a square shape like this, and then I'm going to go ahead and grab any ranged weapon. It could be a revolver, kunai, anything. I'm just going to tap their booty once, try to get their attention. Come on. Hey, bear, come here. Okay, I'm just gonna run up here. Oh, wait, no, I messed up one of my traps. But that's okay, because the rest of my traps should be... Yo, you're supposed to step in my traps, bro. You're the... What? These bears have gained intelligence. They're avoiding the traps. Okay, that guy's left on 1 HP. But let's go ahead and try it again with another bear. Hopefully this other bear might be a little bit nicer to me where I can actually show this to my viewers. So, hey, bear, get over here. Okay, yeah, I think they changed the aggro system. But all I really have to do is just get his attention. Hey, okay, there we go. Now let's go ahead and jump over these, and boom, there we go. Insta kills the bear. It's also safe for me to walk over now because the traps have been used, and now I can easily go ahead and use this key. And also, if you guys get yourself a hammer, you can save yourself from wasting a whole bunch of scrap by using the hammer to pick up the bear traps and do it again on all of the kids. Oh, and maybe guys, don't leave your meat hanging outside, okay? It's also a good idea to go ahead and pick up all your meat because some of your teammates might not know these tips, so they might be just at your base, starving, very sad. So just pick up some meat for them, alright? One of the biggest mistakes that I see a lot of newer players make is that they always go into these new biomes, whether it be the volcano biome or the snow biome. While these biomes are fun, the loot that they contain generally is not worth it. As you can see, there's like some guys here, and oh wait, let me just go ahead and use my kunai on them because I have so much kunai left over, so it doesn't really matter to me. And hey, don't force me into the pit, guys. Don't force me into the pit. Okay, there we go. We defeated all of them, and let's go ahead and grab this chest and show you guys how much loot you guys get for just hey, Yo, let me pick up the chest. Okay, show you guys how much loot you guys get for just defeating 3 cultists. I mean, 3 cultists is not that much, but considering you defeated 3 cultists, you shouldn't be getting these useless weapons. Like this is a sacrifice totem, bro. It's like absolutely useless. And there's so many other things, especially the snow biome, bro. The snow biome, you become permanently slowed, and you get like terrible loot in here. All right, and here the loot is not even that good. There might be some like maybe a little bit of fuel canisters, but overall the best thing here is that there's some stray chests, such as this one right here, where you don't need to defeat anybody and you get a weapon. But look at this. This is a crossbow, okay? It has 1 piece of ammo, well, infinite reload. But the thing is that the ray gun is kind of this, but better. The ray gun can shoot like 10 times in a row and then have to reload. And that does so much more damage than this. Look at the DPS on this thing. The damage is... Oh, I missed. Let me guys show you the damage. Damage, it's alright, right? It's good damage. And it did extra damage there because of my assassin class. So the damage is okay, but ray gun just has so much more burst damage, so much more consistent damage. It's just much better in every single scenario. And by the way, guys, whenever you're going around and hunting these animals, please make sure to get headshots. As you can see, a headshot there instantly killed it. But if I go ahead and get a body shot, for example, look, it does not instantly kill. So always try to prioritize the headshot unless you're in melee range. In that case, they'll probably always be in headshot range. So just go ahead and hit them however you'd like.